Hey guys, welcome back to the Wild Wrestling channel. I am your host, Seth. Today, I'm going to give you guys my WrestleMania 42 match card predictions. So let's hop right into the video. Play the intro. First up, we have Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's World Championship. After this past weekend at the Royal Rumble, Liv Morgan successfully won the Women's Royal Rumble and now has earned herself a title shot at WrestleMania 42. But in that match, Liv Morgan also eliminated Raquel Rodriguez to earn her spot in the final three. And now Raquel is in a feud with Stephanie. I'm pretty sure she's facing her for the Women's World Championship, and I think when she wins the Women's World Championship, that would set up this match. I think after that happening, it can cause tension in the Judgment Day and eventually build up to Liv officially turning on Raquel and Liv calling out her shot to win back her Women's World title against Raquel. And then at WrestleMania 42, we could get Raquel and Liv one-on-one for the Women's World title. This match makes a lot of sense to me. It would be a perfect way to show why Liv should have won the Royal Rumble. And I think it would be a very interesting match, an awesome match, and I think it would just be a perfect fit for WrestleMania 42. Next up, we have Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. It's crazy to me, first of all, how Trick Williams just entered the main roster, and he's already had more success in the main event scene than Carmelo Hayes, who has been on the main roster way longer than Trick Williams. But now that Trick's kind of momentum might have died down a little bit after the Royal Rumble, I think it could set up a perfect match for WrestleMania between the two. They have great history in NXT, and I think they could revive it as Trick might want to win a title and go after the United States Championship. This would be a great match, in my opinion, because like I said, they have great history, they have great chemistry together, and I think with the U.S. title on the line, it'll just help it bring it to that WrestleMania stage and WrestleMania fulfillness we need. And it would be a perfect match here to slide onto the card. It would make a lot of sense, and I think they could, if they build it up the right way, I think it would end up creating the perfect storyline, and I think Carmelo and Trick could execute with a great match there for the U.S. title, and maybe even Trick winning there would help boost him up. But I think this match definitely is another great match to happen at WrestleMania 42. Next up, we have Big Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. Yeah! After LA Knight's return at the Royal Rumble this weekend, I think it sets up a couple things. We saw him go after the Vision in the Rumble match, and I think all it shows now is that he still has his eyes on the Vision. And after Bronson Reed took him out in December, I think it makes a lot of sense for them to keep building this rivalry up over time and allow Bronson Reed and LA Knight to face off at WrestleMania. This would be a great match. I think it would have a good storyline that was months in the making going into it. Even though it might be a little lesser down and like a match and not as crazy to some people, it would still be an effective and good quality match to put on WrestleMania, as it would make a lot of sense of a good storyline, and I think they can make a good enough match out of it. It just would make sense to put on WrestleMania. It wouldn't be a weird match there, and I think the match would execute great, and I think, like I said, the storyline would be there. All the elements could lead up to a good match as long as they execute it properly. That is the big deal here, but if they do that, I think this match will be another great one to have on WrestleMania 42. Next up, we have Becky Lynch, Maxine Dupree, and Natty for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. After these last couple weeks on Raw regarding the Women's Intercontinental Championship division, I think the thing we've noticed is that these three right now are at the top of it, and I think they've kind of just opened up a big triple threat feud. Maxine and Natty just opened up their rivalry after Natty turned on Maxine, but it doesn't seem like Maxine or Natty's done with Becky's. They both want a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think this could all mix together over time and eventually lead in to a WrestleMania match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and making it a triple threat will make it even better. I know some people want AJ Lee to face Becky Lynch for the title, but I think this would be a perfect match regarding what we have out there, especially because AJ Lee didn't even show up in the Royal Rumble. So I think these three right now would be the best ones to face each other. I think they can make a great match here. And like I said, I think it would be an effective way to put the Women's Intercontinental Championship on WrestleMania, because I think they have the right people here in Natty, Maxine, and Becky to do it. And they can make a great match here. It wouldn't kind of add a little extra dead weight there. It would have a good rivalry and make sense. So this would be an epic triple threat to see at WrestleMania 42. Next up is Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. After these last couple weeks on Raw of seeing Finn Balor trying to get his World Heavyweight title opportunity, not getting a spot in the Rumble, and Liv confronting her and everything, and then attacking CM Punk, I think he is going to still feud with CM Punk and kind of try to join the Judgment Day, but I think we have a lot of months until WrestleMania, and I think in the lead up, it could still he could still do some weird things that can affect Liv and the rest of the Judgment Day, thinking that he's doing things that aren't effective to the group, and I think when Dom gets in there and starts confronting Finn about it, they can build up their rivalry even more than it's already been after last year. And then I think we can finally pull the trigger this year at WrestleMania and finally have Finn leave the Judgment Day, especially with Raquel and Liv maybe going at it. And then we can set up, if they're going at it and they break down from the Judgment Day, we can also get Dom and Finn against each other for the Intercontinental title. I don't know if Finn would win here or not, but I think this would be the perfect way, especially with, like I said, with the Liv and Raquel match to end the Judgment Day here. And it makes sense as we've been waiting for this match for months, and I think WrestleMania 42 is finally the time to pull the trigger for this match. Now we have Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. To be honest, I just thought Logan Paul is going to find his way to get on the WrestleMania card. I didn't quite know who to put him against. He hasn't really done too many things right now, and getting him a big opponent. But based on who he's feuding with and what he's been doing on Raw lately, I feel like Rey Mysterio would be the perfect cause. He's been doing a lot with Division and the Luchadors over there, and I feel like it could still build up and they could have their match. I don't know if it'd be against Rey Mysterio, maybe more like Penta or Dragon Lee, whatever it is. I think Logan's just going to end up facing one of them, so I threw Rey Mysterio out there because that's who he's feuding with the most right now. But I just think Logan's going to face a luchador in some sense to get Logan on the card, and I think it'll still be a great match. They can definitely incorporate some high-flying moves and have a good match. This is probably one that doesn't really need to be on the card, but like I said, I feel like Logan's just going to find his way on there. So I think Logan Paul and against Rey Mysterio or a luchador is probably going to end up happening at WrestleMania 42. Next up is El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano. I know that sounded a little bit confusing, but after this week's Royal Rumble, I think you can kind of get where I'm going. We can have El Grande Americano face off against the original El Grande Americano. Now that they're both back and they had that stare down in the Royal Rumble, it can build up over time about who's the real El Grande Americano. This could even turn in like a mask versus mask match, and the loser has to take off their mask. And I think just having this would be a fun little match to add there. I think this is what everyone wants for both El Grande Americanos to square off, and it would just be a very fun match to include on WrestleMania. If El Grande Americano and Rey Fenix happened on there last year, I think this definitely should deserve to be on the card. This would just be, like I said, I think it would more be a super fun match for the people as ever. This is what's like kind of the fun match that everyone wants, is everyone wants to know who's the real El Grande Americano, who's the imposter. It would just be a super awesome and fun match for everyone, and it would be an awesome match to see at WrestleMania 42. Next up, we have Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. After the Royal Rumble this past weekend, we had this stare down that made us all think the same thing. This is a match we need at WrestleMania 42. They got to throw a couple blows at each other and absolutely tear into each other, and now we want some more at WrestleMania 42. In the words of Big E, big meaty men slapping meat, and this is just going to be an epic match to prove who is the real monster of WWE. Like Michael Cole said, in the words of Gorilla Monsoon, the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. We will get again at WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. If this match happens, it would make a super hype match, have a great lead up, and just like the stare downs we would get, the tension would be there, and we'd just be so excited for this match. And this just seems like such an easy, such a shortcut, easy, free space and bingo match that WWE can put on WrestleMania to make everyone happy. So I feel like if they don't do this, they're really fumbling here. So they really should do Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42. Next up is Jade Cargill defending her WWE Women's Championship against Tiffany Stratton. After Tiffany went runner-up in the Royal Rumble this weekend, I think now at Elimination Chamber to decide who faces Jade Cargill, Tiffany will end up winning it, and the storyline is already there after Tiffany lost the women's title to Jade Cargill at Saturday Night's Main Event back in November. They can renew their rivalry against each other and have a great match going into WrestleMania. A great feud as Tiffany wants her title back, and they had that bad blood already from the end of 2025. They can run it back, bring it back up at WrestleMania, and have just a great match here. They already faced off at SummerSlam, and no one would mind them going at it for another time. They've already had such a long feud in 2025, and no one would mind them running it back, especially now that Jade Cargill's the women's champion, and Tiffany would be the challenger. It would be an interesting match to see, so it would be another great match to see on WrestleMania 42. And the next match we have is Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes going at it for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I know, technically, Drew McIntyre should be facing whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, but in my opinion, I feel like one of these two, Cody Rhodes or Jacob Fatu, is going to win the Chamber, and then I feel like their rivalry is going to continue to flow through WrestleMania, and now that Drew has attacked both of them, I think it'll just continue to battle. All three of them will continue to battle out, and it'll allow Nick Aldis to make a triple threat instead of just a one-on-one match. And then we will get this awesome WWE Undisputed Championship match between three of the biggest faces on SmackDown right now. This would be a super cool match to see, as like I said, there's so much bad blood there. As Jacob and Cody, we saw them at Saturday Night's main event. They can't even start a match without brawling throughout the entire arena. Drew attacked them in that brawl and sent them both through tables. And Drew just eliminated Cody in the Royal Rumble this past weekend. And of course, Drew took out Jacob over the summer, last summer in 2025. So there's so many mixed variables and bad blood in there, which would make for a perfect match, a great storyline, and a great feud going into WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Now we have Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. After what we saw at the Royal Rumble this weekend with the Mystery Man attacking Braun Breaker as he was making his way over the ring and causing him to lose the Royal Rumble right off the bat, many people, like myself, predict that as Seth Rollins returning from injury after the Vision turned on him back in October after Crown Jewel. And I think once the Mystery Man is revealed to be Seth, they can build this up over time to be them, to be Seth just mad. I don't care if you do the Austin Theory thing that he's with Seth or he's against Seth, whatever. I think they can just build that Seth is mad at Braun, and they can build their feud up over time, get in each other's face, have some great brawls, make it effective and an amazing storyline, leading into WrestleMania where these two can finally square off. And after a brutal match between them that I think will be incredible to watch, and they'll just have a great storyline, great feud, and just a great match in general, it would just end up being a beautiful masterpiece there to finally get the match we want in this Vision rivalry. And it would be super cool. This is what we wanted ever since Braun Breaker and the Vision turned on Seth. This is what we wanted to see, and now it would be super cool to see it at WrestleMania 42. And finally, the last match, the main event, you could say, the 2026 Royal Rumble winner Roman Reigns challenging CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns winning the Rumble this past weekend wasn't a shock to some people. I didn't predict him, so some people it was a shock, some people it wasn't. But Roman now has the opportunity to face either Drew McIntyre or CM Punk, and I think he's going to go with CM Punk after last year's events at that WrestleMania with him in the triple threat, stealing Paul Heyman from him. They already have that bad blood and feud there, and he's already had his time with the Undisputed title, so why not go run it with the World Heavyweight title? Plus, he is over on Raw a lot more than SmackDown, so it makes sense for him to go after CM Punk. I think the feud that they had last year going into last year's WrestleMania will carry over this year. They can make references to it and leave that bad blood and tension there from last year and build up a great feud here, have some brawls, have some crazy promos, a good storyline, good feud, and eventually, hopefully, have an amazing match that would probably close out night 2 in the whole weekend. And I think if this is effective and goes well, it would be an amazing match to see between the two. They can tell a great story throughout and just have a great match in general. And this would be a great way to cap off WrestleMania 42. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video. And comment down below if you agree with my picks for WrestleMania 42. And turn on that bell so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. I post every Monday and Friday. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.